My wife asked. If I confess to cheating, would you forgive me? I replied, is this hypothetical? Her silence said everything. I calmly said, I'll take that as a confession. Then I called my lawyer while she stammered. Wait, I was just testing you. Her face when I said, original post. I, 36 male, have been married to my wife, 34, for 8 years. Together for 11 total. 2 kids, ages 6 and 4. House in the suburbs, decent jobs, the whole American dream package. Or so I thought. Last Thursday night, we were doing dishes together after the kids went to bed. Normal evening. She was drying, I was washing. Then she dropped it. Hey, random question. She didn't look at me. If I confessed to cheating on you, would you forgive me? My hand stopped in the soapy water. The kitchen went quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator. Is this hypothetical? I asked, keeping my voice level. She didn't answer. Just kept drying the same plate she'd been holding for 30 seconds. Babe, is this hypothetical? More silence. The plate was bone dry by now. I turned off the water. Dry my hand slowly. My heart was pounding, but my brain had gone into this weird analytical mode. Like I was watching myself from outside my body. I'll take that as a confession. Her head snapped up. Wait, I was just testing you. To see how you'd react. It's not, I didn't. Testing me. I nodded slowly. With a question about cheating. Out of nowhere. On a Thursday. While doing dishes. Yes. I read this article about how couples should have hypothetical conversations to strengthen their... What's his name? She flinched like I'd slapped her. There's no one. I told you it was just... You've been distant for 3 months. Working late every Tuesday and Thursday. New gym clothes, but you haven't lost any weight. You guard your phone like it contains nuclear codes. Her face went pale. Then red. Then pale again. You've been... watching me? I've been married to you for 8 years. I noticed things. I pulled out my phone. Started scrolling through contacts. What you doing? Her voice had gone up an octave. Calling my lawyer. What? Over a hypothetical question. Over your inability to say yes. It was hypothetical for the past 2 minutes. She grabbed my arm. Put the phone down. Let's talk about this like adults. I'm being an adult. Adults call lawyers when their spouse accidentally confesses to an affair while supposedly testing them. I didn't confess to anything. Then answer the question. Is there someone else? Yes or no? The silence lasted maybe 5 seconds. Felt like 5 hours. It's complicated. And there it was. I hit dial on my lawyer's number. He's a buddy from college who handles family law. I'd saved his contact 2 months ago when I first started noticing things. Hoped I'd never need it. She started crying. Please don't do this. It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. It's already over. What's his name? Does it matter? To me? Yeah. She told me. Her co-worker from the marketing department. The one she'd mentioned in passing a few times. The one whose brilliant ideas she kept praising at dinner. I'd actually met him at her company Christmas party last year. Shook his hand. He complimented my wife's presentation skills. My lawyer picked up. I scheduled an appointment for Monday morning. Kept it brief, professional. She stood there frozen, dish towel clutched in her hands, tears streaming down her face. After I hung up, she tried again. 3 months. It was only 3 months. And I ended it last week. That's why I asked. I was trying to figure out how to tell you. By asking if I'd forgive you, before actually confessing. I was scared. Of what? Consequences? She didn't answer. Which was answer enough. I slept in the guest room that night. Didn't sleep much, honestly. Just stared at the ceiling wondering how I'd missed it. How many lies I'd swallowed without questioning. How many times I'd kissed her goodbye not knowing where she was actually going. The kids asked why Daddy slept in the bonus room at breakfast. I said Daddy had a cold and didn't want to give it to Mommy. They accepted it and went back to their waffles. Kids are trusting like that. Update 1, 1 week later. Lawyer meeting happened Monday. Cold, clinical, necessary. My buddy laid out the options. In our state, infidelity doesn't automatically mean I get everything, but it does factor into negotiations. He recommended documenting everything, keeping communication civil for the kids' sake, and not moving out of the house. Whoever leaves first often gets perceived as abandoning the family, he explained. Stay put. Be the stable parent. I took his advice. Meanwhile, My wife had apparently told her mother what happened. Mistake. Her mother called me Tuesday morning while I was at work. I cannot believe you're throwing away 8 years over one little mistake. Good morning to you too. She's devastated. Do you understand what you're putting her through? What I'm putting her through. Marriage is about forgiveness. My husband had affairs and I stayed because that's what real wives do. And how'd that work out for you? She hung up on me. Her father called an hour later. Much calmer, but still firmly on team daughter. Son, I know you're hurt, but think about the kids. Think about what a divorce will do to them. I am thinking about the kids. I'm thinking about what it teaches them if I stay with someone who broke our vows and only confessed because she got scared of getting caught. People make mistakes, and people face consequences for those mistakes. I'm not being vindictive. I'm just not willing to pretend it didn't happen. He sighed. She loves you. I really believe that. She had a weird way of showing it for 3 months. The week got weirder from there. My wife tried every angle. First, the seduction approach. Showed up in lingerie at the guest room door Wednesday night. I told her I wasn't interested and closed the door. Heard her crying in the hallway. Second, the guilt approach. Left handwritten letters on my pillow about our history, our kids, our beautiful life together. I read them, felt nothing but tired, threw them away. Third, the anger approach. Thursday night, she snapped. You're being so cold. Don't you even care that I'm hurting? You're hurting because you got caught, not because you feel guilty. That's not fair. Neither was you sleeping with some guy for marketing while I was home with our kids. She threw a coffee mug at the wall, shattered everywhere. Our daughter came running downstairs asking what happened. Wife blamed it on Butterfingers. Added gaslighting our children to my mental list of grievances. Friday brought a new player, the affair partner himself. He showed up at my office. My office. Just walked into the lobby and asked the receptionist for me. I came out, saw him standing there in his stupid slim-fit suit, and felt absolutely nothing. Can I help you? I think we should talk. I don't. Man, I just want you to know, it wasn't serious. She loves you. I was just there. Is that supposed to make me feel better? I'm trying to do the right thing here. The right thing would have been not sleeping with a married woman. But that ship sailed. We're done here. Security escorted him out after I told them he was harassing me. The look on his face was almost worth the whole nightmare. Almost. Update 2, 3 weeks later. Things escalated in ways I didn't anticipate. My wife retained her own lawyer, some aggressive type her mother recommended. First move? Filing for exclusive use of the marital home, claiming I was creating a hostile environment by sleeping in the guest room and emotionally withdrawing from the marriage. My lawyer called it a standard opening gambit. She's trying to establish herself as the victim. Courts see through it usually, but we need to document everything. Documentation became my new hobby. Every interaction logged, every text screenshot, every suspicious expense from the past 6 months pulled from credit card statements. Turns out those late work nights coincided with charges at restaurants and hotels I'd never been to. $3,000 in hotel bills alone. On our joint credit card. She'd been funding her affair with our money. I presented this to my lawyer. He smiled the way lawyers smile when they know they've got ammunition. This is helpful. Meanwhile, her family went into full attack mode. Her sister showed up at my workplace. What is it with these people in my office? Demanding I stop torturing her sister and be a man about this. Being a man means staying with a cheater? Being a man means providing for your family. What about the kids? The kids will be fine. They have 2 parents who love them. We just won't be married anymore. You're so selfish. I'm selfish for not wanting to be married to someone who betrayed me? Interesting definition. She called me a few names I won't repeat and stormed out. HR asked if I needed to file a complaint. I said no, but I appreciated their discretion. Then came the real dirty trick. My wife told her 6-year-old that Daddy might be leaving because he's angry at Mommy. Didn't explain why Daddy was angry. Just left it at that. My kid came to me crying that night. Daddy, please don't leave. I'll be good, I promise. My heart shattered into approximately 10,000 pieces. I held him and told him Daddy wasn't going anywhere. Daddy loved him more than anything. Whatever happened between Mommy and Daddy, he and his sister would always be safe and loved. After he went to bed, I confronted my wife. Using our son as a weapon? Really? I didn't. He thinks I'm leaving because of something he did. Because you told him Daddy was angry without any context. I was trying to prepare him. You were trying to make me the villain so you could be the victim. Again. She started crying. Again. I was getting immune to it. I want 50-50 custody, I said. No games. No manipulation. The kids spend equal time with both of us. If you try to poison them against me, I'll use every documented incident of your behavior in court, including using our child as an emotional hostage. She went quiet. I think she finally realized I wasn't bluffing. The next week, her lawyer came back with a counteroffer. She wanted primary custody, the house, and alimony. My lawyer laughed when he read it. On what grounds? Apparently, she's claiming you were emotionally distant throughout the marriage, which drove her to seek affection elsewhere. So her affair is my fault. That's the argument. And the judge will buy this. Unlikely, especially with the hotel receipts and your documentation of her behavior since discovery. But we'll have to go through the motions. Going through the motions meant mediation. Court-ordered, neutral third party, supposed to help us reach an agreement without a trial. Mediation was a disaster. She showed up with her mother. Why? Who wasn't supposed to be there, but somehow talked her way in as emotional support. The mediator looked annoyed, but allowed it. First hour, my wife cried about how she lost herself in motherhood, and the affair was her way of reclaiming her identity. Second hour, her mother interjected approximately every 3 minutes about how marriage requires sacrifice, and I was being rigid and unforgiving. Third hour, I presented the hotel bills, the timeline of lies, the incident with our son, and the harassment from her family in my workplace. Her mother went quiet. My wife's lawyer looked uncomfortable. The mediator suggested a 15-minute break. When we reconvened, suddenly the demands had changed. She'd accept 50-50 custody. She no longer wanted exclusive use of the house. Alimony was off the table if I agreed to split assets 50-50ths. I looked at my lawyer. He nodded slightly. This was reasonable. One condition, I said. The affair partner is never around our children. Ever. If I find out he's been in contact with them, we go back to court. He and I aren't even in contact anymore. Then that condition should be easy to agree to. She agreed. Papers were signed. We'd finalize in 60 days. Final update, 4 months later. Divorce finalized last week. Weird feeling. Signing your name on documents that end 11 years of your life. Efficient, though. Very American. Here's how it shook out. House sold. Market was decent. We walked away with enough to each put down on smaller places. She moved into an apartment across town. I found a 3-bedroom closer to the kids' school. Custody. 50-50, week on/week off. Kids adjusted faster than I expected. They seem okay mostly. We're all in family therapy. My idea. Not hers, but she agreed. Assets, split down the middle. Neither of us got rich. Neither of us got destroyed. Fair is boring, but boring is fine. The affair partner got fired 3 weeks after mediation. Not because of me, though I'd be lying if I said I was sad about it. Turns out his brilliant marketing ideas were actually plagiarized from a competitor. His whole department got audited after someone noticed similarities in a campaign. Karma works on its own schedule. My ex cried when she heard. Apparently, she'd held on to some fantasy about him being worth destroying our marriage over. Reality hit different. Her family backed off eventually. Her mother still makes comments at kid exchanges, but they become background noise. Her father actually apologized to me at our daughter's birthday party last month. Said he'd been wrong to defend her behavior, and he hoped I'd find happiness. Didn't know what to say to that, so I just thanked him. As for me, I'm okay. Not great, not terrible. Sleep's still inconsistent. Trust is something I'm working on rebuilding, with myself mostly. I ignored red flags for months because I didn't want to believe them. That's on me. Dating isn't on my radar. Maybe eventually. Right now I'm focused on being the best dad I can be and figuring out who I am without her. The funny thing is I don't hate her. I thought I would. Wanted to some nights. But hate takes energy I'd rather spend elsewhere. She made choices, faced consequences, and now we're both living with the outcome. She texted me last week. First non-logistical message since the divorce. I know you'll never forgive me, but I want you to know I'm sorry. Not because I got caught, because I hurt someone who didn't deserve it. You were a good husband. I just didn't appreciate it until I'd already destroyed everything. I read a few times. Didn't respond. Not out of spite, just didn't have anything to add. Some things don't need closure. They just need to end. My lawyer framed a copy of the final decree. Said it was one of his smoothest cases despite the drama. You stayed calm when most people would have lost it, he said. That's why you came out okay. Maybe. Or maybe I was just too tired to lose it. Either way, chapter closed. Life continues. Kids are happy. Job stable. New place is starting to feel like home. That hypothetical question over dishes feels like it happened to someone else now. Some other guy in some other kitchen, washing plates while his whole world prepared to implode. I don't think about her much anymore. When I do, it's usually just a flash, a memory from before everything went wrong. Then I remember how it ended and the feeling passes. Not revenge, not forgiveness, just done. And honestly, done feels pretty good.